What's up, everybody? Today we are going to be talking about how to stop info dumping. Ultimately, how world building through story and character changes it all. Because world building is one of the core fundamentals of writing, a close third to plot forward and character development. A novel is something that stands on these three things, but if one of those elements fail to be established or are lost in the fray, it can all suffer. That's why world building is something I enjoy putting time into. It's something that needs a bit of strategy. World building, in essence, is the skin of the narrative. In fact, a narrative holds the skeleton together. The characters, the soul, and world building is the skin and clothing. Together, they make a full experience for readers. And this is why I want to talk about world building, specifically through narrative and character. When writing out your ideas, the strength lies in how all three work together. So, when you can, filter world building through both of them. Before I get to the list of everything that we're going to be talking about today, please remember to subscribe and hit the bell icon so you don't miss out. And remember, every Saturday and Sunday, I do a live video at 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I do real-time examples, and the things I talk about are on the channel already, but I explore them in real time, and you can ask me questions. It's a lot of fun. Let's get into it. Narrative plus world building. Let's begin with filtering your world building through the narrative and start with show, don't tell. Though, on this channel, we call it show, sometimes tell, because you need context. This is a pretty common one, too. So let me try to approach it from another angle since we've all heard about show, don't tell. Of course, you've heard this a million times. Avoid info dumping. But as much as I agree with that, let's give you a bit more insight into why. Info dumping takes away reader discovery. It removes them from figuring things out themselves, or rather, experiencing it through the characters and narrative. An info dump stops the narrative and lectures readers about something it feels like. Jenna stepped through the gates of Kel, the streets filled in the dense crowds of elven and human trade, a city born over the centuries of warfare between two species now settled in the calm of commerce. That's info dumping. However, the same information can be explored through the narrative itself. Is Jenna human or elven? Human? Okay. She deals with a history of war. Elves treat her a certain way. Maybe they give her the bad food at the tavern or a half cup of mead. In the narrative, it gives you a chance to explore the trade of it all, especially if the narrative is about trade and about two species. Maybe the narrative explores the human, Jenna, and her growing relationship with Malith, the elven merchant, and building something together. This is what narrative necessity feels like. It's focused on world details that are immediately relevant to the current scene, plot, or thematic concerns. It's driven by the unfolding events of conflict, tension, and problem solving. For at the end of the day, remember, it's all about movement and pace. If information stops the movement of the narrative, it can slow pace to a drawl. If you keep the movement going, it'll drive things while controlling the pace. This is accomplished by revealing information about the world over the course of the narrative to maintain suspense and reader interest. Ultimately, give a little, explore a little, and inform a little, and the reader will be part of the discovery of it all, which builds an emotional interest in the narrative. Character plus world building. Character plus world building. The lived experience of characters is going to be one of your strongest tools to build the world around them. I'll repeat that. The lived experience, the lived experience of characters, okay, is going to be one of your strongest tools to build the world around them. This is their daily lives, their biases, beliefs, internal conflicts that reflect their culture, politics, and the environment of the world literally around them. Characters all have positions, which influence how they interact with the world and the way they react to the world. What's interesting about this method is the nuance it creates, since, in a narrative, the world building is alive and moving with characters, it's nuanced perspectives, okay? Since in the narrative, the world building is alive and moving with characters, it's now nuanced perspectives because all characters have different perspectives. Because the characters' bias, their beliefs, even their political or cultural connection to things will change how they look at it. A human who hates elves because they have long lifespans is a world building starting point. What about a half elf having to watch one of their parents die of mortality? But what if they also have to watch themselves die before their elven family because they also only live half lifespan of a true born elf? Politics can influence the world building through character too. What they believe is right would create a bias that XYZ is going to prevail in finding the truth for the people. We need to stop dealing with the elves and grow our own grain, wheat, and potatoes. Yeah. This is why the deep integration of their positions, the things they believe, help to elevate the world building of even its rules. So, magic, technology, social hierarchy, it all comes together in how the characters behave, the choices the characters make, and the emotional, physical, and spiritual impact the world has on the character. Which, by the way, will lead to conversations and interactions that challenge these positions, revealing world details through natural dialogue between characters arguing about the red leaf tree gods and the green leaf tree gods. This all grows the world through their debate. Characters will stand by what they believe, and depending on the point of views presented on those positions, they might change somewhat, completely, or not at all. All right, before we get to the right mindset perspective, let me just remind you all that before I even get anywhere, I have some books available that are on makearightleft.com. Remember, you could always check them out. We have the 27 Plot Point Outline book, When Plot Meets Story, which teaches you everything about narrative, movement. Ultimately, if you're a pantser or a plotter, you can read this book and learn a lot about narrative. However, if you like outlining, it is a deep dive into the 27 plot points of a narrative. If you're a pantser and you like to write from the seat of your pants, it'll at least teach you what a narrative is and how to think about what's to come without worrying about the outline. Basically, to give your narratives ebb and flow. Of course, Death of a King is available on Patreon exclusively under the scribe tier, and you get a lot of stuff other than just the book. You get information among other things. And with that said, remember, Breaking Down Success is currently available to purchase if you want to learn how to be successful in the entertainment industry. That includes us authors and writers. The book will teach you the foundation of that success, and then of course it is book 1 of 5. All right, other than that, bloop bloop bloop, let's get into the right mindset perspective. World building is really fun part of writing a narrative. Whether you're writing an epic fantasy novel, going deep into the science of space travel, or writing about New York during the 90s, world building is what brings life to the skin of your narrative. Without it, things can feel lost in the emptiness. World building is more than the buildings, more than the cities. It's the living, breathing heart of the city, deep inside, beyond the buildings themselves. It's the cultures and communities working with the rules and those against them. World building is the stuff between the cracks that tell us a history of it all. This is why it's important to think about world building as a character and part of the narrative. Not that you have to put weeks, months, or years into it, but you should allow yourself to think about these things when moments present themselves. What does that even mean? Well, when the narrative itself opens the door about a species, the culture, or the politics of a city, give a nugget. Open a window to the weather. Let people have thoughts on these things that move the narrative forward. The cold isn't letting up for winter's coming. But honestly, your greatest tool is character development and letting the world move through them. Their discovery of it and the growth of the character themselves as they find their place within the world. For world building is more than the trains, planes, and automobiles. World building is the people who live among it and how it influences those people living within it. Excellent. Next video in this series, we'll go over world building conlangs. But if you have a video lesson you'd like me to do, let me know in the comments below, because I am doing random videos throughout the year that are outside my traditional scheduled videos. And I'll just post them whenever I get them done. So let me know in the comments. I'm happy to do a video. And by the way, it could be a video on something I've already done, but you want me to go a little bit more in depth, or it's something that I haven't done yet. Which means if you like what you saw today, hit that subscribe button and hit the bell icon so you don't miss out. And if you found this information helpful, please like, comment, and subscribe. Like and share. The algorithm loves it. That's all I'm saying. It loves it. Anyway, with that, I'm Thomas J. Bellezza, and as always, keep developing the right mindset. I'll see you next time. Bye!